Thank you for joining me again for a time reflecting on the ways that songs form and shape our faith and express it. St. Augustine famously wrote, "The one who sings prays twice." And that just reveals the truth that music has a twofold way of speaking to us, in words that we offer to God and in melody which lets the song and the prayer live in our hearts. As I said before, the songs we sing stick in our hearts and shape our ideas about God. And in these few videos I'm revisiting some of the songs that have formed my faith. Last time I talked about the song As the Deer, which put into words and music a sense of our need and longing for God, inspired very much by Psalm 24. The song I want to revisit today certainly has inspiration in another psalm, Psalm 46, which is probably my favourite. It begins, "God is our strength and refuge, a very present help in trouble, and therefore we shall not be afraid." Those are words of comfort for every trying situation, and they touch on the strength we find in our faith and the way we draw on our faith when the going gets tough. But the words that really stick out to me in Psalm 46 are in verse 10. It's one of the times that God speaks in the Psalms, and the only time to my knowledge that God gives a direct command in the Psalms, and it is this: "Be still and know that I am God." Learning to be still is not an easy thing, at least not for me. Spending time being still and actively listening for God is a spiritual discipline. And in doing it we find a great truth, that in our busyness and many worries and concerns we forget God loves us just as we are in our stillness and wants us to be in God's presence, to speak to us and with us. But often we are too distracted to hear. What we find when we turn to our scriptures time and time again is that people have to learn to turn aside from their busy ways, from their day-to-day tasks and paths, and their common expectations, to find God and really experience that sense of presence. We may be reminded, for example, of Moses, who has to turn aside to the holy fire of a burning bush, or Elijah, who from his hidden cave finds God not in earthquake, wind or fire, but in the still small voice. Or perhaps we are reminded of the letter to the Hebrews, where we are invited with our great high priest to approach God in reverence and awe. Or perhaps the book of Revelation, where the vision of being brought into God's presence is of God burning brightly, radiant with light, and us being bathed in that power and light. And I could go on, but this is not a sermon, just a way of picking up these themes that became ingrained in my heart and taught me on my spiritual journey some truths about prayer and God's presence. So I invite you to join with me today in the song, "Be Still for the Presence of the Lord."